Hello, this is Brian Purdy with the Florida Aviation Network. Here again at AirVenture 2023. Today we're visiting with the Wisk at their pavilion. We've got the aircraft in the background, and we're going to talk with Max Duke, one of the flight test engineers. Welcome to AirVenture. How have you been?
Thank you. I'm doing great. How are you?
Is this your first time to AirVenture?
It is for Wisk. That's right.
How about you for personally?
Actually, the same as well.
Oh, well, welcome. It's a big place. You can't take everything in one day. But we're going to talk about the Wisk, and it's the aircraft.
Awesome. So what you see behind me is our 6th generation aircraft. It's an all-electric autonomous air taxi designed to move people over traffic in the urban areas, moving for general aviation airports, international airports, helipads that exist, and one day vertiports within the urban center as well.
Have you already started working the agreements for being able to land at the different airports and vertiports and heliports?
That's right, yeah. So we have people working with regulators on every level. We're not going to build vertiports inside the city. We'll leave those to people who are better at those kind of construction projects. We're better at building airplanes.
Great. So this is your first time here. What was your plans? I think you did some demo flights. How did they go?
That's right. So our 5th generation flew on Tuesday and Wednesday at the show here to demonstrate safe autonomous electric flight. It went great. We couldn't have asked for a better show.
Flying itself. There's no pilot on board. We do have a pilot on the ground. He's monitoring the flight, but he does not have a stick and pedal. This is an aircraft just flying on its own.
So humans are still very much a part of the operation. They're just not on board.
Correct. Right now we're having a wonderful flight team here. They're all the way out from California. They're monitoring the flight, making sure everything's going as planned. Right now you can hear how quiet it is. Those lift fans are fully stopped. They're in their stowed location.
Are you getting a lot of people coming through your pavilion and saying, hey, when you're going to be near us?
Yeah, that's right. Everybody wants it in their town. Everybody has traffic. They'd rather fly over it. And everybody's got a great idea. So it's really great to have that feedback.
Yeah, my view is I don't like tolls, traffic, or potholes. So. But, okay, you've got a great view out here of the Boeing Plaza. I understand you're working with Boeing. What's the level of interaction that you have with Boeing?
That's right. So Wisk started as a joint venture with Boeing in 2019, and as of a few months ago, we're actually now a wholly owned subsidiary. So we've been working with Boeing that whole time, and it's been a great partnership. They obviously have a lot of certification experience, and we're bringing that Silicon Valley kind of edge, and the two blending together is going to make this happen.
Great.
Everybody wants it now, I think is the thing. We're saying entry into service by 2030. Most people would like to see that sooner. But yeah, there's been some good questions. Most people are just amazed by the technology. It's coming now.
Now, I noticed the 5th gen had more of a pusher prop design, and it looks like 6th gen, since it's more people, it looks like the front motors actually rotate. Part lift for takeoff and then rotate down for forward motion.
Right, so we've had quite a change in each generation. We've learned a lot of what works and what doesn't. The 5th generation is what we call lift plus cruise, so 12 lifting fans and a pusher propeller in the back. This was designed from the ground up for commercial service, and one of the big things was to get that high wing so that way people can get it out of the aircraft really efficiently. The tilting mechanisms in front is also just more efficient, and so we made those design choices to get the vehicle to do what we want it to do.
I did notice a slightly different prop design. I guess, okay, when you're using it for thrust, for forward, it need a little bit different, but not so different that you can't use it still for lifting purposes. Okay. Now it's great to be able to go from point to point in the town, and anytime you're avoiding traffic, you're going to go faster. But what kind of speeds are you planning for between locations?
Right, so we're planning to cruise at around 120 knots. We'll have a 90-mile range, so that's about 45 minutes of endurance. And we'll be able to recharge on the ground in about 15 minutes.
Now, is it a straight plug-in recharge, or is it like a swap out batteries?
It'll be a plug-in recharging on the ground.
Great. So, going to have a lot of power at those recharging points then to push that through at that speed. So, tell us a little bit about the history of the development.
So, we've been in aviation making electric vertical takeoff aircraft for over 13 years. So, we have quite a pedigree.
And overall, how many flight hours, flight tests have you done, and when did those actually start?
Yeah, so we started flying in about 2011. We have over 1,600 flights. And those are all full-scale flights too. That's not including subscale models.
Okay, great. So yeah, you always want to use the cheaper version and say, yeah, it flies. Build a bigger one now. what kind of training or any for your vertiport managers and fleet managers and stuff like that?
Yeah, so there's always going to be human supervision on the ground, what we call a multi-vehicle supervisor. So one person will be monitoring multiple aircraft at the same time to take air traffic control directions or alter the flight plan, maybe if a passenger gets sick or something like that. We're still working with the FAA on what that certification looks like.
So you said alter the flight plan. So you've got direct control of the flight during the flight, and you can monitor as far as diversions and emergency landing or something is necessary.
That's right, yeah. So there's no controls on the ground. They can take directions from air traffic control, altering the flight plan, or like vector changes, things like that. But it's high-level mode control only.
Okay. So it's almost like, okay, let's set something. It's good until we need to change it.
Exactly.
And how does weather been taken into account? You know, without somebody right there and potential data stream interruption due to weather, or do you just, okay, we only do this VFR, clear skies?
So we'll be VFR and IFR. Without a pilot on board, there's really not much difference. We will have sensors to detect weather, and because the flights are relatively short, we will be able to make those decisions as the weather comes up.
So you got a 45-minute duration, 120 miles an hour. Are you looking? What would be the standard distance between points that you think the most of your flights will be?
Yeah, the vehicle's really optimized kind of for quick hops. So in the 15 to 35 mile range, that's where this vehicle really shines.
So I've flown out of LAX, so it's like, okay, there's a parking garage in Van Nuys. I take the shuttle over to LAX, which takes 45 minutes. If they had a heliport on the top, 5 minutes.
Exactly. That's exactly what we're trying to do. Save people time in those urban environments, fly over traffic.
Now, at the airports, are you going to have a separate gate for everything Wisk involved, and then they have to split out from there, or there'll be like a bus that's picking you up out in the middle of the tarmac and then taking you to the various ones? Or has that even been worked out yet?
Yeah, we're kind of still working on that, and it's going to really depend on the situation, right? Bigger airports, you may have to do that. Smaller vertiports, you probably just walk out right to it. Where are you going to be next? And hopefully you can come on down to Sun and Fun next year. Yeah, absolutely. I don't think we've announced where we're going to demonstrate next. Make sure to follow us on our social and check us out at wisk.aero, our website, and check out more.
Great. Well, Max, it's been a pleasure talking with you. This is Brian Purdy with the Florida Aviation Network, live and in the clear from AirVenture 2023, talking with Wisk Aero. Have a great day.
We were just saying, if we thought about this a little bit, like when they go to the Super Bowl, they make the t-shirts.
So it's pretty much just carry-on type stuff. So the people that are traveling to the airport, they better not be going away for too long.
Or mix with other passengers that maybe don't have as much luggage.
Okay.
And make sure it's on path. The autonomy piece just gives them a little bit of extra confidence.
Now, would this have like the ADS-B where you actually potentially see other traffic that may be a factor that they say, oh, there's a plane over there, and they can say, hey,
I'm actually not sure.
Because
They decided to do that.
yeah, if you have enough pilots in here, you can say, oh, I want to help clear traffic. Yeah.
So welcome on board our Wisk aircraft. Our baggage has just been loaded up in the front. We're going to watch our pre-flight brief, turn our phones on airplane mode, buckle our seatbelts. will show us how to exit, no smoking, all the kind of usual safety briefs that you would see on any airline. The touchscreen that the passengers have in front of them will be able to control climate controls. It also tells you how much time you have to your destination, if you're going to be on time. You also have a call button up top if you need anything.
Okay.
If somebody got sick or there's other things going on in the aircraft, that will contact the ground concierge and you can talk to them live.
I'm guessing that the flights are so short you didn't really even need to worry about entertainment on the system.
That's right. So people will have their cell phones, so they'll be able to work or do whatever they want to.
Oh, okay.
We got all the plugins, USB, USB-C, wireless charging, cup holders, room for your carry-on bags, laptop, or smaller bags inside. And it's pretty roomy. I'm 6'4" and I have plenty of headroom.
Oh, yeah. Yep.